Yeah. Perfect. Yeah.
I was like Richard Harder, I'm the best ever. I'm the most brilliant and vicious and most ruthless champion there's ever been. There's no one can stop me. Link to the conqueror, no, I'm Alexander, he's no Alexander. I'm the best ever. There's never been anybody like me. I'm Sonny Liston, I'm Jack Simpson, there's no one like me. I'm from Nashville, there's no one that can match me. No affiliation, why they thinking this ain't for the band? We really imitation, I ain't contemplating why this name like heavy rotation on radio stations. I just pray the Lord give me manners. Yes, I'm running through these rappers like my name motivation. Shit ain't on these rappers, 9 to 5 is my occupation. You come in with your best troops, you best bring more. Already told me that the truth like a rimfall. Already know what I'm about to do, Benjamin fall. Everyone know that we got the truth for your men falls. So fast, overtaking my enemies. Move calculated and illustrated like symphonies. Smooth operator, like hurting the haters with misery. Follow this same shit, unless you mention me. Yeah, that's why we don't associate. Fuck niggas, man, fuck niggas. Why they procreate? Why they overhate with their time show in the moment late? Let it culminate to their hard race and the perpetrate. Cowards perpetrate like they little groupies and spectacles. Talking intellectual, all of you homosexual. Faggots. There's no one like me. I'm from Nashville. There's no one that can match me. My style is impetuous. My defense is impregnable. And I'm just ferocious. I want your heart. I want to eat your children. The target day, I don't want to deal with you. I don't want to fellowship. I ain't trying to deal with you. A.T.Z.P.K. and the truth. Keep it real with you. Defenders to the tape. I got no top to bump the heads with you. All that bullshit, you can take it over there with you. Rather be a house boy. Rather run with the film, nigga. Show them the good work. Move mountain, touch hills, nigga. Take a dead soul. Breathe life and make it live, nigga. No affiliation, so there's no one to compare with us. To the Lord's laws, they just added it with fear, nigga. Ain't for the body, cause you know I can't get hit quicker with these bars. I'm on my Christmas, so bear with me. You spit cold, I spit flu. Don't get head sickness. You floss diamond, I floss spring. Don't get head dentist. You T.D.JAKES, we meant the bullshit. We can't Christian harm one of us. Your pistol whip like the gun got a belt with it. I'm right different. The competition just a mill. I'm fed different. I stood front line on them fields. I'm blood different. I'd rather be a corpse than a coward. I'm blood different. Shit, I'm blood different. Come through like a juggernaut, so don't get in the way. And we take everything serious. We don't play. I wonder now what they gonna say. Shit, we make profits out of shooters like the NBA. You just say, cause switch your sides, nigga, we ain't on the same page. I'm making looking sense. These niggas bitch made. I'm sticking with the foundation where my bricks lay. You switch sides, I'm at the switch gauge. You was never on this nigga. Just know we on mission, nigga. Right hand hold the scriptures, nigga. Looking for the pistol, nigga. How you want it? You can get spiritual physics, nigga. Wants to come up here, so bring the army with you. No affiliation when you see us, make a difference with it. No affiliation when you see us, know we different. Nigga, no affiliation, so no, you can't be with us. The wrong ones to come against, bring the army with you. Yeah. And you're my regiment, it's like a it's an excellent. I'm tired. It's evident, all these rappers are like, kill them all, I'll never see a sentiment. They touch the microphone for proposal, show you the Benjamins. Only politicians that use the dead president. Okay, screws everything around me, get the intimates. And I'm charging you double if you're an Eminem. Or Kevin Peterlin, it's for my son's benefit. So every track is eminent, you're witness to this testament. Around here, I'm working harder than a bunch of Mexicans. First near faith, and I'm sounding like a veteran. People feeling like they were drawn straight off of heroin. Greatest of all time, man, many that's better than we won't lie. The kids from the Lord's tribe, that was CHAATAZA, repping for the most high. True Polynomics, leads out to anomalies. I'm a prodigy of prophecies, theories and philosophies. I gotta be the only man alive with these qualities. And I don't want to brag, I want my people out of poverty. So burn down Sodom and all its wicked societies. And prayers from the white man, democracies and policies, economies and colonies, monopolies, apologies. Fuck, free from the white man economy. I'm diabolical from my fightings and my molecules and scholarship. Got all my enemies in my opportunity. Methodical, the way I'm eliminating these obstacles. This is what I gotta do. Never has it been optional. My words are weapons. You other rappers is kinda hype, but I'm the type of guy that might turn it into dynamite and smite any rapper that be biting like a parasite. If I don't get you out and I visit you in the afternoon. Shut the fuck up. Shut the fuck up. Everybody, we together now. Shut the fuck up. Shut the fuck up. The fan, but I disagree. Remember summertime when the band was missing. Pull it.
How was it gonna call them the monitor?
Traitors.
Like that.
The fucking traitors. Check it out. They say that they was down for the fan, but I disagree. Remember summertime when the band was misery. AC never worked with no crack. I feel the breeze. Guess that ain't no shit to you for loyalty. They'd rather be up on the mama for all the weed. I'd rather put the lip on my peppers over the degree. I'd rather be for loud when I battle my enemies. Got home on the internet pushing and punching keys. They say that they had love for the can, but they were pleased. We don't need that kind of love, I'm a keep it cheap. My heart done got hold on traders like Mr. Freeze. We just want to show you how feel to get victory. I'm with U.P.K, so we ain't really seeing defeat. We battle on the corners, opponents get free to see. Besides switching niggas, flipping the different teams. Bad mouth on West, lucky he let you breathe. That's mercy from the general, orders to let you beat. They say he had the gold and he ain't getting clean. But really he didn't us niggas like all the D. He leave, now he broke, ain't smoking on nicotine. Popping down to pocket, he still got another key. Since I've been with you, I get like I'm living a dream. Pulling up in the 90s, long as a limousine. Hopping out with soldiers, you thinking we done with race. But we the one with beers, me holding on magazines. All my brothers' feet never overthrow the regime. And we gon' bring forever our level heavy supreme fucking traitor.
Trader.
Yeah, why you let the truth, my nigga, you silly, yo? Just to get taught by a nigga who really know. The I.S.U.P.K online videos, we should take them all down and see what you really know. Get your troops, lace them up, let's follow the generals. Always speaking truth, no speaking subliminal shit. Gotta find money, the most, cause the I.S.U.P.K is the fucking original shit. All my niggas kings who used to be criminals in the land of the thieves, the home of the Seminoles. Don't cross the fucking line, cause we get critical. Cause my head is my nigga, it's down in the physical shit. I shouldn't have to say, but something you should know. Like the white man is the devil in crisis, I need help. Anytime I feel the crisis, some true shit. Something there, we need the preachers to ever teach up. If you really know the truth, you know where to come find it. 2-3 you niggas gon' pay homage. Spit rubies, kiss gold and bleed diamonds. On a bomb mission to free my people from bondage.
There's a new set of rules you shall all have to abide by. The non-lyrical shall be terminated.
Yeah. You already know you back live and direct. It is Israelite Vibe. Guess who else is back? CHAATAZA, give him a hand, y'all. Let's go. Clap it up. You know what I mean? You back. Yeah, man. Hot off the press from Israel. So tonight we got a lot to talk about. Right. You understand? Now, Terry Crews. Yeah. Terry Crews is getting molested in front of his wife.
Terry Crews said he's suffering from PTSD.
Cheeseburger Eddie.
He said he's suffering from PTSD. Do y'all know why? Y'all familiar with it?
Post-traumatic stress disorder.
Yeah, but do y'all know what his post-traumatic stress disorder is from? Because a devil grabbed his balls in front of his wife and he did nothing because he didn't want to risk his job.
It's terrible. And also, what else is going on in the world today? Matter of fact, we're going to talk about how, you understand, like the white man wants to make it illegal for Black and Hispanics to find their identity.
Yes.
You understand?
Talk about that.
I mean, Cat want to talk about y'all new Lord and Savior, Marshall Mathers. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna see how that goes.
Yeah, we're gonna see how that goes, man. They want to talk about Eminem is the new savior. It's amazing to me how you've had. Now we're just gonna keep this on a worldly basis, not a U.P.K or Israelite basis, right? It's amazing to me how Black people have been talking about this whole Trump shit, right? Like that broad, I don't want to say broad in this case, but that sister, Jamil Hill, right? She say something, get vilified or whatever. No huge uproar. Eminem get out there and say the wackest shit I've ever heard. I mean, it was garbage. Right. Like he did his best. I'm gonna impersonate the smack rappers that he could, and it was trash. He said it turned orange like the thing from Fantastic Four. Like when I say like, but he say that, everybody love him. Right. And the saddest part about it is, you know, he got an album coming out.
Right.
Which is the only reason he said this shit in the first place. Now he pro-black. This is the same one that was calling black women bitches.
Right.
Don't date black women.
Right.
Like he did a whole damn album about not dating and dealing with black women.
Right.
Here's something even heavier, right? If he cared about black people, he in Detroit, right?
Right.
What has he done for Flint if he cares about black people?
Right.
Nothing. So we'll talk about that too, man. We're gonna talk about I'm like a guest / host. I ain't really on the show as the lead guy.
So with that being said,
this my man, this my man right here, man. I missed the brothers up here. I missed y'all. I was gone for about 11 days. I ain't seen y'all since Wednesday.
my brothers miss y'all too. Commander General Yohanna too. He's like when Cap come back, man. He's like, yeah. I was like,
up,
I'm find out.
Yeah, man. I definitely missed y'all. Found out a lot of interesting things about Israel, Dimona. I went out to Dimona.
And now is the perfect time to ask your questions if you want to know what Cap did on his vacation.
If y'all want to call in again, wait, I got a new number. We got a new number for callers that want to listen in on the conference. Got 2 people on there right now. The new number, which I'm gonna put in the box. The new number is 646-902-6868. If you want to listen in through your phone, hold on, let me put my cap locks on. If you want to listen through your phone, you can call 646-902-6868. If you want to listen in through your phone. If you got a question or comment, you can hit us up 646-481-6315. Anybody want to ask me how the trip to Israel was? Should you go again? Do we got to flee America? How is it in Dimona? Are they by the nuclear power? We're going to talk about all of that tonight. We're probably going to dedicate whatever. I don't know what questions CHAATAZA. We did not script this. So if I want to ask me, he's going to ask me. I'm going to try to answer it in my most politically correct. No. I'm just going to answer the question, man. But, so CHAATAZA, I mean, so just, yes, y'all walk away.
What's up? Somebody blow the chapal. Well, in the interim orders, of course, you know what I'm saying, a couple of questions I got.
Okay.
Because I remember once upon a time ago, you know what I'm saying, you had said something along the lines of,
wait, hold on. Before you do that, anybody ask about the UPK Harlem account, GEN.YAHANNA, GEN.YAHANNA, please excuse me. Some faggot reported it. Please excuse me, GEN.YAHANNA, GEN.YAHANNA. But somebody reported the UPK Harlem account. We'll have a new one coming soon. I believe it was Israelites personally that did it. I do not believe it was the white man. That's what I believe personally, but that's what happened to the brother Gedalia Ban. Not Gedalia, give it the ancient, please. But to the brother asking, that's what happened. Somebody took the account down. If anybody asking, we'll have a new account up. We're gonna put them same videos up. So that's what happened to the account. So go ahead, you got it.
To my exclusive interview on Israelite VIBEZ.
Exclusive.
Captain TAZARYACH. So this is what I really want to know on a serious note. So I remember once upon a time ago, I heard you say on several occasions that you didn't want to go to Israel while devils were ruling it. You know what I'm saying? Or you know what I'm saying? While they were in control of it. So what swayed you to go out there? And then what was the reasons as to why you wanted to head out there in the first place? Like, you know what I'm saying? Were you searching for something? Was it spiritual? Did you just want to see the homeland? Like what possessed you to, you know what I'm saying, to take that trip, you know what I'm saying, to head out there?
I think one of my ribs has family out there. And so I would talk to her a couple of times. She would tell me about it. Other brothers that I would interact with would kind of tell me about it, their visits out there and stuff like that. So that's when my interest first got peaked, because like as I said, I never really wanted to look at Israel or anything like that. And then I said, I guess I had I don't want to say Malcolm X moment or something like that.
Don't say that.
Because Malcolm only went because he got kicked out of the nation. That's what made him go.
Right.
I'll never get put out of I.S.U.P.K. I'll be here till I die.
Right.
But the reason why I ended up wanting to go is like around the Passover. I really I guess I have to be honest. Like around the Passover, I had fasted. I was reading Ezra's, and in the second Ezra's, Ezra was talking to the angel Uriel, and when he wanted to know a little bit more, he fasted where he only ate like fruits and vegetables for like 7 days with him. So when I read that, I did that. So when I did that, as I'm doing that and I'm studying and going over scriptures and stuff like that, then I wanted to go see Israel. Even though heathens was ruling it and running it, I just wanted to see it for myself. It's almost like I had to see it for myself. I had to see what it was like, what the devils was doing to the land. They say it's brothers over there. So I just wanted to get the whole full spectrum because I was tired of the what ifs about it. Like, if you know anything about U.P.K, we strive on being right about everything.
Right.
So everything that I was saying about Israel was from secondhand information, from what I heard about the Mona, from what I heard about the white man, from what I heard about the Arabs, from what I heard about living over there. Everything was all secondhand information. So I wanted to hear it firsthand. I wanted to see for myself firsthand what it was like to be in Israel. So back in April is when I wanted to go. So I looked it up, found out the tickets wasn't that expensive. Once I seen the tickets wasn't that expensive, I decided to go on out. I booked the ticket. So I booked it about June. And I made a reason, like I didn't really say nothing publicly, and CHAATAZA knows this too, about a week before I went. And the reason why I didn't mention it, because I didn't really want any hype behind it. Like, you know, me dealing in like the black world, I didn't want Sinetta and them to find out and then turn it into some minstrel type show or something like that, or make it seem like I'm doing it for their sake. You understand? Because people flip things. I wanted it to be pure, so to speak, if that could be a word that a brother could use. I wanted to be pure, just like that. So it was my intent to just go see for myself. I wasn't never going to tell anybody. And then, except the general, like I told GEN.YAHANNA, I told the generals, CHAATAZA knew, Sakar knew. So a couple of brothers and stuff did know rather, but I kind of like kept them on the low just so that it could be sacred, so to speak. So that was my reason for wanting to go, to just get my own clarity. Not necessarily on this, I don't want to say necessarily on a spiritual level, but just on the clarity level to see exactly what it's like. So now if I talk about Israel going forward, can't nobody tell me shit. Like that. You know what I mean? If I want to say the white man is the devil, or as we go into the interview, I'll tell you more, I'm correct in what I'm saying.
So with that being said, so we're gonna go step by step on the trip. So so the first thing I want to do is, you know what I'm saying, as far as now anybody who wanted to go, how long was the flight? How was the flight? What you know what I'm saying? How was getting through customs and all that? You know what I'm saying? And lastly, I'm gonna compile all of it in together, but you know what I'm saying, what should people expect, or how should they prep themselves for such a journey?
Well, flight-wise, okay, the ticket, depending on how early you get the ticket, of course, like any flight is cheaper. So I got the ticket in June. I think it cost me round trip, it was like $600 and some odd dollars. Something like that.
That's pretty good. That's pretty good for a trip there.
The flight itself was about going, it was about 10, 11 hours. Coming back, it was like 12 or 13 hours. Now the plane, I would recommend, I didn't do first class. I would recommend, if you can afford to do first class or some type of middle class, to get more luck, especially with like July, it don't matter what he'd be kind of like 5'2" or something like that. So y'all can have a little small seat. But for a brother tall like myself, a Bond, he's sneaky taller than me, but he's not. It's his afro. Bond's afro is much taller than me. He's not taller than me. But for brothers that's tall, you want a little bit more space. Now they give you more space than a regular plane, but if you're going, you want to be as comfortable as possible. So I would definitely recommend getting a better seat if you could, because that's a long flight. You know, you end up getting up, you know, standing up a little bit or whatever. They do feed you on the plane, so you get a meal like an hour into the flight, and like maybe an hour before the flight will land. So you do get a plane. Customs, the weirdest thing about customs, because I went in there, like everybody was so like, everybody's telling me you don't want to go with all your shit on because, you know, they give you a hassle. So I said, all right, fine, I ain't gonna go. So I didn't have like no shield. I had one chain on with the menorah on it or whatever. I had regular clothes on, no I.S.U.P.K, nothing, whatever. And then they still stopped me. Oh, my middle name, for those that saw it on Facebook, you know, you all saw the story, like my middle name is Rashawn. So like, first, so I go to the customs and the cat looking at my John and shit, so he's looking at it. He was like, this your name? I said, yeah, that's my name. He said, what's your daddy's name? I said, Carl. What's your grandfather's name? I'm looking at him. I said, Lucius. I said, okay, can you go over there in the little waiting room, right? So I go over to the waiting room. They got me waiting in there. And so finally I walk out and I ask the lady. And so the lady, they bring me into the customs room and they was like, where does this name come from? So I'm thinking they talk about the first name. They talk about my middle name, Rashawn. So they're like, where did this name come from? And I said, I don't know, my mother gave me the name. He was like, well, where's your mother from? What is the origin of the name? I said, I don't fucking know. I said, y'all telling me I can't get in over my middle name. And they eventually let me go through the customs. So the hassle, so like maybe an hour delay, but the hassle wasn't really that bad getting in there. And then there was brothers, like I said, my rib, no people over there. So it's an uncle, I.S.U.P.K, his name is I.S.U.P.K. There's a brother named Mikhail. And I'm naming these brothers on purpose. I.S.U.P.K, Mikhail, Shebaniah, brother by the name of Jamal. Them brothers gave me great hospitality.
Right.
Yeah, that's what I'm about to get into. Okay. Like Mikhail met me at the airport. They call him M70 online or something like that for those that know him or whatever. But he met me at the airport and he paid half the fare for us as we was driving. Because to get from, because you can only land in Tel Aviv, we were staying in Ashkelon. So it's 350 shekels, which is about $100. Right. But it costs more, so he kind of gave us like a little discount or whatever. So Mikhail picked us up, brought us. I'm gonna say something that y'all might not like, because I think I want to learn modern Hebrew. That's the only thing. If like we do the ancient, and I know the ancient, but I was handicapped out there. I felt real handicapped by not knowing the modern Hebrew, not being able to speak it, because without Mikhail, I was kind of like lost. And I would just say no English. I didn't like that. And I could pick up some of the words because some of them sound like the ancient. So I could pick up some of it, but I wasn't as fluent or as sharp as I wanted to be. So I think I may learn the modern Hebrew. Because I may want to go.
There's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, ain't nothing wrong. Right.
There's definitely nothing wrong with that. I tell you what, that's gonna put us on something though.
Right.
When everybody else start catching up, you know what I'm saying, to the point of us, because then we got something nobody else got. Right.
Exactly. So
but I agree.
Yeah, so Mikhail picked me up, brought us to the airport, brought us to the hotel. They brought us upstairs, made sure the room and everything was straight or whatever. So then after that, you know, we slept. The jet lag, because we like 7 hours ahead of time now. So like I landed about midnight Sunday. We got there. I didn't wake up till like maybe 4 o'clock the next day. Right. You know what I mean? Because of the jet. I mean, I was slammed like that.
Was it like a spiritual? You know, was it spiritual out there?
Like magic?
No, not magic. Did you feel like a spiritual connection?
Well, okay, so I don't know if this part of his question yet, but I'll answer that part. So like once I got over there, like I said, ICL normally, man, like they took me around, took me to Jerusalem, which I'm gonna get into a little later. As far as a spiritual, as I start, okay, from a spiritual side, the more I stayed out there, you do get a little spiritual connection. You get a physical connection. The air is better. Like when I say the air is better, when I got back here, it was the worst feeling. Like America's fucked up. Right. Like this. America, the white man is the devil. You know? That's right. You breathe different.
If you were upstate New York, you'll breathe different.
Yeah, like
cleaner than it is over here.
like the air is probably the worst. Like the air, food is better. Because now again, because the Jewish man is running the land over there, they keep in the dietary law, so you're not getting the pork. At least not know where I ate. Now I'm not gonna give the white man that much credit to say he ain't got no pork, shrimp, crab, and lobster over there. But where I ate, you didn't get the unclean food like the pork and the shrimp and the crab and the lobster. So everything is cooked clean. You ain't got to worry about the mixture of the food. The meat was real meat. Like it ain't taste like I got a burger over there. And when I looked at the meat at first, I'm like, because I'm looking at the burger we eating over there. But then when you eat the meat was more delicious. The chicken was more delicious. Like when I said America's fucked up. America's fucked up. The food, everything was better over there. You understand? And I'll get into the differences in a second, but everything was like better over there. So like the more I stayed, it was two different spirits. When I say it was spiritual, it's a spiritual like, damn, I'm in the land where I'm in my land, I'm in the land of my ancestors. So it's that spiritual, and then it's the spiritual of the prayers that U.P.K, like I was talking to Gen.YAHANNA about this, and he asked me about my experience, and I don't know if I'm jumping, I'll go into detail with Jerusalem, but I'm gonna just give a summary of Jerusalem, but I'm gonna go in detail when he asked me about it. And so when he asked me about it, I told him, I said, General, I said, if you go to Jerusalem, you'll really hate the white man.
Right.
You go to Jerusalem, you really hate the white man, you hate the Arabs, and you hate the Africans.
Right.
Because when you go there, if your spirit, like I left Jerusalem, like the prayers that we say every day are 100% correct to say. Them curses we throw up, when we saying death to the white man, the Jewish man, the synagogues, the ham, like that is right to say.
Right.
And every Black, Hispanic, and Native Indian need to say them prayers. Y'all need to get in the online class, memorize them prayers, and say them prayers every single day, because they are destroying Israel.
Right.
I mean, they're destroying Israel like something I ain't never seen. Like, you think the white man's destroying America, but America ain't ours anyway. It's not our right? What they're doing to Jerusalem is like what the white man did to us in slavery. That's what. And if you love Israel like that, it should put something inside of you to never want to join them, but to be separate from them. You understand? So that's like my experience out there. Like my experience out there was like death to all of these.
That's right.
We say death to our enemies. And as I'm telling that to Gen.YAHANNA is like, you right in saying that, and you need to make sure that that story comes out, and that story need to come out because they doing something horrible.
Right.
They doing something real horrible. You know what I mean? So
okay, so now, let's walk through your church. Let's go step by step. So where did you go first? What did you see? And then now, if I'm not mistaken, because I was in contact with you while you were out there, you were saying that there was this whole discussion about that's not the real Jerusalem. That's not the real River Jordan. And then also, you know what I'm saying? Because even from the pictures, it looked like River Jordan dried up. It's like, you know what I'm saying, from where it's at. You know what I'm saying? And then damn near got a scriptural question, because somebody asked me the other day that I think somewhere in the scriptures it talks about the Jordan drying up. So I'm wondering if that was literal, if that was metaphorical.
I would like to see the scripture they pulled on the river drying up.
I would too. I was wondering if you were familiar with it. Now, if not, in the meantime.
But I will explain the two differences.
Oh, okay, so I don't know if you want to get there now, or where did you go first?
Okay.
What was the first stop?
The first stop was to get something to eat. No. So I went down by the pier, got something to eat, and then, so like Sunday, okay, let me run it down. So Monday, okay, Sunday I didn't really do nothing. Monday, Mikhail and Jamal took me to Jerusalem. And So we're going to Jerusalem. Now, here's the funny story now. The brothers, I hope you know, they should not get offended. Mikhail, mainly, not Jamal. So, you know, so Mikhail, yeah, we're going to Jerusalem. We're trying to get there, stay 8 o'clock. He said, you want to dress like a Jake when we go to Jerusalem, right? So I don't know what the fuck that means, dress like a Jake. But I'm assuming, so I say to him, I said, what do you mean by that? He said, well, you just want to dress normal. So I said, well, I got jeans with some fringes on it, and I got a shirt with a lion on it, and my chain, this one, the big one. And so he's like, all right, well, that's cool. So I go downstairs to the car.
Good. You look like every time I got a picture, I'm like, he just stand out everywhere. you ain't fitting in a goddamn place.
So I get out and Mikhail and Jamal is in the car, get in the car. As soon as I get in the car, he said, oh, you want to make a statement out there. I said, what you talking about? He said, I thought you was dressing like a Jake. I said, I told you I had the fringes and everything. He said, oh, I thought you had the fringes on the bottom of the seats. I said, no, I don't wear the fringes on a t-shirt like that or titsits. They don't call them titsits, they call them zitsits. Like they pronounce it differently out there. Or maybe they just pronounce it differently. I just call it.
Slocky, I forgot how they do it, but the T is sometimes gets dropped from top.
Yeah, it's something like that. And so I'm like, I got this on. I said, well, you know, because, you know, in Jerusalem, the shield, like to the Arabs, because, and here's the happy thing, in Jerusalem, they like to make you think that it's this big old Arab-Israeli war. Right. And it could be an Arab, but in Jerusalem, the Arabs and the Israelis, the Jewish bastard, they run in, and the Ethiopians, they run in Jerusalem together. Right. They're not running it separate from it. Like they give you that impression, like the Arabs is bombing this because the Jewish man won't let them get it. No, they share in the destruction, all three of them. They share in the destruction of Jerusalem. I mean, it's a horrible. It's damn near like when Christ said, when the abomination of desolation stand, that's what you see over there. You know what I mean? So when, so we get in the car, so he said, well, we're gonna go in, but we gonna see. So he thinking my shield and all that gonna stand out and all that. And to jump to the whole end of it, nobody cared, really. Right. Of course, a lot of people stop and stare at me. I'm 6'5", 250, rock solid. Right. Let that get by you. Right. You know how you know, I'm being real carnal with you. I'm talking shit right there. So I did stand out because of my height and everything and the shield. And what I found out in Jerusalem is that, and then I'm gonna get into the two differences. So when you first go down there, they got this, it says Old Kingdom. And it's supposed to be what the Old Kingdom, like, I guess they left like the ruins up. Right. So I came into the city part of I don't mean to cut you off, you know what I'm saying? I gotta nerd you the boss. I gotta nerd out a little bit. Yeah, you the boss. You know what I'm saying? So now like these structures, you know what I'm saying? Like, and I got pictures of them, so I'll put the pictures up. Like when I'll make a video of this, just so y'all know, I'll put pictures up and everything. I'm gonna start working on that this weekend. So do they got dates on the structures? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, when you go inside, yeah, they got dates on them. So now, are they just those rebuilt from the Crusades? Is any of them actually from the Old Kingdom? Like, how does that work? That's what, depending on who you trust, depending on who you ask. Because I think for tourists' sake, they're saying that it's ancient. Right. But I don't believe that everything that I saw was as ancient as they say. Like when you walk into Jerusalem, they show you some of the waterways that you can see, and you can look at that and see that that's old. Right, it's been there for a long time. But then you can see some structures that you know were just reinvented, but look old, but they're not really old. Okay. So you know there is a difference. All right. So as I'm walking into Jerusalem now, because who I met was this brother that his ancestors or whatever go back 2,000 years. So I actually did meet the cat. And what I found out was that he was an Israelite, but he was like a Muslim. But when he runs the history down, he's saying that The reason why they were Muslims is they were whatever nation was conquering Israel at that time. So they were Muslims, they was Christians, they were Jewish, they was Muslims, they was Christians, they was Jewish, they were Muslims, they was Christians. You get the point. So, but they was able to stay, and they put them in the section of Jerusalem that was called the prison gates. That's where they let these black individuals stay. And it wasn't a whole gang of them, but it was enough of them to where anybody saying that we're not that people, you can use them to say that you're lying because they're descendants.
They did not want to be martyrs.
Right, right.
What's called, they look like us? Or?
Yeah, they look just like us.
Sorry, sir, what's the name of the group? If I could, the group of Jakes.
I have a DVD. I might have it in this book bag. If I got it in this book bag, I'll give you the name. And then I'll let you know exactly who it was. And so I met him first.
Did you ask them anything about the language? You know what I'm saying? Because it's like, I'm sure because through being conquered, they probably wouldn't be able to know, but maybe they would have more of an oral history. Did they mention anything about the language being bastardized or?
No, but when I the cat's name is Ali M. Jitta.
Okay, come on.
This DVD here, Political View of an Ex-Political Prisoner.
Yeah, he looked like I've seen him 1,000 times on 125.
Yeah, he's the cat that was giving me the rundown.
Right.
And I'm gonna break down the whole Hamite thing too. The language thing, when I got to Demona, they asked me one of them questions. When we get to the Demona part, they asked me about the language that we speak, what's the difference between theirs. And when I told them about the bastardized, they agreed. They didn't disagree with the language. So, you know what I mean?
Like when you was on your trip, and I saw on your Facebook page, I saw a sign that said Kemet ahead. You know what I'm saying?
I didn't see that.
I did. I seen something.
You might have to show me that one. I'm not familiar with that one.
It said Kemet ahead, something like that.
Okay. So after I left Jerusalem, excuse me. So after I left talking to the cat, now I'm touring Jerusalem, right? Now the whole differences of the real Jerusalem and the Jerusalem I was in. Just a brief background. According to some brother named Hoshua, he teaches that the land called TAZARYACH is where the real Jerusalem is at. Visited both places. I was more angry at the Jerusalem that they say is Jerusalem. My spirit tells me that's it because I wasn't angry at the other one. I was angry at this one. But I am going to do some more research to see which one is more legit. You know, we like to be correct. And if I could, if I could about TAZARYACH, how I got to TAZARYACH, I want to big up again. These brothers show me brotherhood. Mustafa and Barak. Now they're not in U.P.K. They're from the House of David. But when they heard that I was out there, these brothers showed me brotherhood that I wish they would use in America as well. What I mean by that is, when them brothers knew that I was out there, they contacted me and they said, "Man, you should come out to TAZARYACH." I said, "Well, I ain't got no car." And I found that they was an hour away from me. They actually drove the hour to come and get me, and then drove to TAZARYACH, which was about an hour and a half, almost 2 hours away, and then drove me all the way back home when it was done. So when you see me seeing Sodom and Gomorrah, the living sea, they don't call it the Dead Sea out there, they call it the living sea. What they say is the Jordan River, what they say is Mount Zion. When you see me seeing all that, those brothers took me out there. So I want to big them brothers up again, Mustafa and Barak.
So you're telling me that they're only about an hour away from each other. So is it possible that maybe like that whole area encompassed? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it's weird because like, and again, I got to do the research on it because the line that they're giving me, they make a compelling argument, but at the same time, it was kind of like deserted. When we know when Esau is coming to take over our land, they ain't coming to leave it deserted. They're coming to actually run it and be us. Right. And that's what they're doing in Jerusalem, what they call in Jerusalem. Right. So it don't really match up all the way for me just yet. But I am going to do the research on it to check, because when we was going through the Jordan River part that they telling me is the Jordan River. It was desert. It was a wilderness. But the river was flowing from the top of the mountain. Like as dry as it was everywhere, it was still a stream coming from the top. But they wouldn't let us go. Like I climbed the mountain, but they wouldn't let us go all the way up to where the water was. Yeah, they had to like section off. And Mathop was telling me that it didn't used to be like that. Right. That at one point they could go all the way up to the top.
That's that bullshit. Like you go
they found out. Yeah.
Go see the water.
Once again, that's why it's like it was good on both sides. Even the bad was good. Because the bad should stir your spirit up to say, man, we got a lot of shit and work to do to get this shit right. You know what I'm saying? So that's what made it even more sweet.
So now outside, now these brothers that you're talking about, they were from America.
Barack and Barack and them was from America. They're from Brooklyn.
Okay, they from Brooklyn. Now, what type of spirit is our people in who actually live out there? Not the ones that been there for 2,000. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, you saw the ones that been in there recently, like Mikael and all of them.
You know what? All around, like, you know what I'm saying? Like what's their spirit like? You know what I'm saying? Does it differ from America? Like, and what does it seem that they're following? Like, are they getting swayed, or are they doing their own thing? Like what's our people?
Well, what they want, what all of them want, is for us to come over there. That's what they want. They listen. All they was telling me, the saints shall take the kingdom. You got to come over here, take the kingdom. That's all I heard. And I told them the same thing that I tell everybody, is that the compassion in me prevents me from doing it. I'm not saying, like, I do go back, right? Now, as far as living there and stuff like that, I'm torn because I feel like I would be abandoning the people over here.
Right? Bad, you know what I'm saying? Bad.
Right, it's almost like it's like a conflict, so to speak, because it's like you got all my brothers and sisters over here, and yeah, I can afford to go, but they can't. We're going to teach them and stuff like that. And they gave some compelling arguments, but what I am going to say is that they showed a great amount of brotherhood. I mean, they taking somebody that they don't know me at all. Right. I didn't have no vehicle. But wherever I needed to go or wanted to go, brother Noor, I would say Nahar, but he say Noor. Noor, he showed great brotherhood too. You know what I mean? They would pick me up, take me wherever I needed to order a pizza, don't know the language, ain't have a number for them to check. He did all that for me. Like it was just like they showed brotherhood that I ain't seen nowhere except I.S.U.P.K. Right. Like they showed for it was just beautiful. It was beautiful to see. The only thing I don't like is the Hamitic, a little bit of that Hamite love got to go. Right. You get a level of conformity, like you can conform real easy being around them devils if you ain't angry.
Kind of what's coming, so.
You know what I mean? Like we got like there's a certain level of aggression that you can never lose in your life, and it's true. And you can get comfortable over there. And so like when I'm listening to them tell me different stories, especially when I listen to ICL tell me how they got over there, and the elders from Demona, how they got over there, and I'm hearing that aggression, but then I'm hearing like once they got supplanted, there was a level of comfort, there was a level of acceptance that you'll never get being over here. You'll never get that acceptance. And so a little bit of you needs to keep that aggression. You know what I mean? So it was definitely a great experience. Jerusalem. Now, if I could talk about Jerusalem, it was two different sides of that Jerusalem. Remember, 3 different sides. So when I walked into the Jerusalem, I put that one picture. Y'all seen that picture with that Arab lady? She's selling fruit on the damn ground. She just got fruit in boxes. It's on the ground, and she fruit. Like, who the hell gonna buy fruit on the damn ground? Like, who gonna buy that? But people buying it. I'm like, this is some nasty mugs up in here. So as we walking, we started on the Arab side. There ain't no black side. Just understand that. There ain't nowhere in Jerusalem that there's a black side. You understand? We don't run nothing out there. It's all run by Jewish people, Arab people, or Ethiopians.
Like the ghetto in America.
It ain't no different. Like that's the one thing, like as beautiful as the brotherhood was, and as much as they want us to come over there, the only downside is that we don't run nothing over there. Not nothing. All right. Now, of course, them brothers, as I would say this to them, the brothers don't say, we gotta take the kingdom.
Right.
You got to come over here so we can do it.
Right.
And I don't knock that zeal. I don't want to make it seem like I'm knocking that zeal, because ain't nothing wrong with having that zeal.
Right.
But we gotta, it's definitely like we gotta be able to be on both sides. You know what I mean? We can't make it seem like if we're in Israel that's better than being in America, or being in America that's better than being in Israel. We're supposed to be praying for all white people to die.
Right.
It would be unfair to make it seem like one is better than the other. You understand? That's a divide. It's almost, it's just like we're too divided on that. So as I go into it, the Arabs is running it. As I'm walking through Arabs, the Mikael and them was all worried about my chain. All the Arabs cared about this chain was this, they would say, oh, that's a great chain. I got one just like it in the back. Take a look at it. And I said to the Arab, I said, if I got it already, why would I want to go buy another one from you? That's all they was interested in, every hustler in the world. Oh, check this chain. Oh, I got jewelry in here for you. I got this. But when you look at the Arab section, it looked like shit.
Right.
It looked like walking down Canal Street. You know, say I fucked up the street my lane. You see how messed up Canal Street is? That's the Arab section.
Right.
Then we went over to the Jewish section.
Right.
And the Jewish section was beautiful.
Mm.
It was clean and swept.
Right.
The walls looked like they water spray them every night, and they raping us too. And you see the tourism, so you see them giving tours. So you see the Chinese over there taking tours. You see white people over there taking tours.
Right.
And you see no blacks or Spanish taking no tours over there. You just see everybody else taking the tours. And the first site I saw was a building that they call the Holy Sepulchre, right?
Mm.
The Holy Sepulchre is a temple that was built, that's they say was built around where Yahushua died.
Right.
And when I put the video up, you'll see when you're looking at that, it's like they trodden underfoot. All you see is just everybody that's walking in and out. And who do you think owns the Holy Sepulchre?
I.S.U.P.K.
Esau.
Right.
I walk up in there, they see me, the Jewish man sitting at the front of the door. He shows he got the key to the Holy Sepulchre. And then they sell the top. People can actually, you can actually live in there. They'll let you live in there.
That just seemed like tourism. That don't seem like it could be too legit.
Yeah, that's what I mean. It seemed like tourism. You got the other people bowing down. They kneeling where they say Yahushua died, where his tomb is at. They praying to the damn tomb and kissing it and bending over and all of that. And it's just hand over fist, just the money changing hands.
Yeah,
and that was like the first thing. I wanted to leave, in all honesty. When I saw that shit, I was like, I don't need to see no more.
So
I was done.
What did you see that you appreciated, or what did you see that you felt had some sort of authenticity to it?
Well, what I appreciated the most is that I did not lose, out of the whole trip, I did not lose none of the zeal that I have to do this job. That's right. As far as authenticity goes, the sepulchre felt like it was authentic. When they took me up to what they said Mount Zion was I felt was authentic. The Olives, the Mount Olives, I felt like that was authentic. Y'all know what they did with the Mount of Olives?
No.
The Mount of Olives, it's like, they call it the Mount of Olives because it was olive trees and stuff like that. You get the oil and priests and everything like that. It's a cemetery.
Right.
What?
It's a straight up and down cemetery right now. What they do now is when the Jewish man dies, they bury themselves in the Mount of Olives. It's a cemetery now. And that's the saddest shit. Like that's how I know that that's real, because like the spirit that comes inside of you, like you want to leave, but then it's like, no, I gotta see this because I need my spirit stirred up like this. And stirred up in a manner to keep doing like this job. So like after you see that, you go to where they say King David's tomb is at. And I got pictures and stuff of that, but if that's King David's tomb, it's damn near like shameful in there. Like we ain't gotta be like them faggot ass, excuse my language. We ain't gotta be like them homosexual, deviant, Jabari, polite, Seti, and all of them, where they want to go visit Egypt and see Pharaoh and all of that.
Right.
If that's David,
Right.
he shouldn't be disrespected like that.
Right.
Like the reason why our bodies is in the graves, we ain't got these magnificent funeral homes, is because we let our dead rest. The scriptures say when they sleep with the fathers, let them sleep with the fathers. They shouldn't become a tourist attraction like they turned it into. You know what I'm saying? So yeah.
Yeah, so Salaki, so like in one of the precepts in the scriptures where it says, I see a new Jerusalem coming down from heaven, with all the Jerusalem now, it definitely got to be destroyed, and the promise of the new Jerusalem coming, for us to, go back to our, for us to be there again, when the Yahushua come back,
Right.
It's definitely a prophecy,
Hell yeah, like
the promise.
And like, so I saw that, and then I go to the Ethiopian section. So I now tell y'all the whites, the Arabs. So of course the Ethiopians, they got a section too. Walk up in their little spot, Caesar was there. They got all the Caesar was there paintings, the Virgin Mary, all of that. Ethiopians is raping us just like the white man is raping us, just like the Arabs is raping us, and all that. And that was my guess.
So he's saying in the Ethiopians temple, right? Where the Ethiopians saying that they the real Jews, they got Caesar Borgia up there.
Yeah.
The white man.
The white man. Yeah. Listen, what do the man got is Jesus?
Right.
The white man.
Yeah, kind of right.
Listen, who do the Arabs have as Jesus? The white man.
Right.
Who does the Jewish man have as Jesus? The white man. Everybody had. I feel like CHAATAZA when he was in Boston. The white man. Who's the devil? The white man.
With the Ethiopian man saying that the Ethiopians are the real Jews, you try to think like they would have like an Ethiopian Jesus. You know what I'm saying?
Bigger than that, if the Ethiopian says he was the Jew, right? He would be with us. He wouldn't be with them. The fact that he's not with us should tell you the real deal. You know what I mean? It should tell you that they'll tell you that they're Jews to do the same thing the white man is, rape you. Like Psalms 83rd chapter says they have consulted together with one consent. They are confederate against thee, that the name of Yasha may no more be in remembrance. That's what you see when you go over to Israel. That's what you see. Now, it could change if we go take the kingdom. Or it could change if we do it here. But either way, like remember, like, if anybody that want to go to Israel, I would never tell you not to go. But you can't tell me that you have to go. That's the difference. When the scriptures say we're going to be gathered from the four corners of the earth, it don't say that we got to all assemble down there. You understand? So now, as we're leaving, right? They start asking. So they asking me questions. Here and there. They ask about the garments because they wear that kippah. The what? It's called a kippah. The head figure. Do you ever see it look like the we would call them kufis over here. Right? So they, so as we were leaving, they going to get one of them. And they like, you don't want TAZARYACH? I said, you want TAZARYACH? Now the one thing, before I say some of the stuff that I'm gonna say, we had all these conversations with no animosity, even when we disagreed, because we disagreed on some things. And the reason why I want to stress that is because I don't want to take away from the brotherhood. The brotherhood that they show is so strong that even in the disagreement, they were still brotherly, even though we was able to disagree. You understand? Because I'm gonna tell you, because we got into the African conversation. And so they like, yeah, you want to wear one of these kippah? I said, yeah, okay. That's what the devil wears. I said, we don't wear none of that around here. So they was like, well, you know, we wear, you know, that's our garments, and they start talking about our garments. I said, well, our garments is in the scriptures. That kifa, that's from Russia.
That's right.
I said, you can take that shit back to Russia like that. And he was like, well, you can take your shit back there. So we laughing. No, it wasn't bad. That's what I'm saying. Like, it wasn't bad at first. It wasn't bad. We was about it. And I said, our garments is in the scriptures. I said, border blue studs, all that. It's all in the scriptures. I said, can you show me that? He said, you got a whip. I said, well, you go right into the scriptures. I said, I could pull a meet you scripture if you want. I can go to Ezekiel where he tied that thing around his head if you want. I said, and the top got to be open because that's your crown. I said, you know, when you're born as a baby and they got the hole at the top, that's your crown. That's supposed to be open. And then the brother Jamal, he says, you know, that makes a lot of sense, but he still puts keep on. Right. So, okay. Well, let me wrap up a little bit. So then we so when we leaving, they asked me how I feel about we leaving Jerusalem. I said, this made me hate Africans, whites, and Arabs even more. So he's like, well, we wear African garb. I said, you wear African garb? I said, that's your motherfucking problem right. I said, we supposed to be a holy people. How are we gonna be holy and be joined to Africans at the same time? So he says to me, he says, so why do you say that the African thing when we were in Africa? So I said to him, so here's what I did learn. And I learned why a lot of Israelites take issue when they hear me say, I hate Africans. Because in their brain, they think I'm talking about our brothers that's in Africa because they consider themselves real talk. Right. No bullshit. Right. So I said to him, I said, would it be better if I say Hamite? They said yes, because then we can understand, at least in the beginning. So I said, you know what, going forward, I'll say I hate fucking Hamites. I said, I'll
you know, they're using the African as a blanket term.
Right. They look at that. Right. They think when we're saying Africans that we believe that all the Israelites over here in North, South, and Central America, no matter how many times I've said it otherwise. So I said, I'll give you that. I said, so I'll say Hamites. I said, but we ain't no goddamn, you the interview. Let me just say this last part. Yes, sir. I said, but we ain't no Hamites either. We ain't supposed to deal with them. Right. And then they say, well, what about Moses? Because he had the Ethiopian wife. I said, well, he got that wife before the burning bush. I said, you didn't know that. I said, when he got that burning bush, I said, he already had the wife, and you don't divorce nobody that you already would, because that's against the law. I said, but what did Moses tell us? Don't give our sons, don't take their daughters, and don't let their sons take our daughters, because we were holy people. He commanded us not to mix with nobody. I said, so it don't matter what we feel. I said, it matters what the Lord says, and we not supposed to mix because we ain't no stinking ass Africans. That's right. Like that. So then he says, well, what about Solomon? He slept with Queen of Sheba. I said, no, he did not. I said, Queen of Sheba. I said, you be better off, and this is their love of Ethiopians. Right. Because I said, you'd be better off saying he slept with the daughter of Pharaoh, because that scripture, you can actually prove that. Right. But you cannot prove that he slept with the Queen of Sheba, because, you know, that's the Ethiopians' gateway into being Israel. Right. They claim that Sheba had a son, and then that son went into Ethiopia, and now the Ethiopians are Israelites. And I said to him, wouldn't it make more sense that, if that's true, wouldn't only Solomon's son, if he had a son, wouldn't only that line be Israelites? Or are you trying to make all of Ethiopia Israelites based on that one event? Right. And he didn't have no answer. He dumped it down so much to where he didn't have a problem sleeping with white women. Right. So, you know what? If they did it prior to, he said, that ain't my business.
But that's why in the whole scheme of things, that's why it's like, I can't buy that garbage because nobody has a problem when we say we want America to burn. They don't sit there and think we want our brothers and sisters that's in America. Right. Well, if we were to say, damn, any other country, we're scattered to the four corners, right? You know Dennis Rodman's father got how many, you know what I'm saying, in Taiwan or wherever the hell they at. Right. You know Kobe Bryant was from Italy.
So what's happening is I said them same things.
So the point being is that they have the affinity for Africa.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Whereas if they didn't, they would know we want our people saved from everywhere. Right. But they want to join those people, and that's why he's proud to wear the African garb. So I ain't buying it.
And here's another thing. We got into the whole Israel is in Africa.
Right.
Like it's not connected to Asia too.
Right. Israel is in Africa.
Right.
He said Israel ain't in no goddamn Africa.
Right.
He said yes it is, because it's on the same
tectonic plate. Can you show me the plate? Can I see the plate? Can you see the plate? Nobody can see the plate? No? You tell me about some invisible plate none of us can see.
So I said to him, I said, let me tell y'all what the problem is. And I said, I'm gonna cut y'all real fast. And this is what y'all can use. I had this book with me, right? This book is called The Negro Question Part 2. I had brought this with me to Israel, right? What's beautiful about this book, right, is in the middle of this book, there's a map in this book. It's called, hold on, let me see if I can find this map. Just bear with me. 1 second, I want to see if I can find it.
You really was out there.
Yeah, I got all they give me all business cards, just fill out. And bear with me 1 second. I just want to show y'all something to cut anybody that says Israel is in Africa and how you can cut it.
Oh, slightly.
Oh, you want to see the book? You know where it's at?
I can't even see the plate. That's what I'm saying.
Oh.
You need some kind of thermal max to see.
Go ahead.
Oh, can you say that the Timbuktu was definitely like adding up with the trip out there? Did you see the similarities from?
Yeah,
kind of
definitely. Okay, now on the cover of this book, I don't know if y'all can see it on here, but it says Kingdom of Judah, right? And this is in what they call the continent of Africa.
Yes,
right? Now on the map, now remember they're saying that we Africans, right?
Yes.
Now on that whole map, in that whole continent of Africa, in this section in the west coast of Africa, land of Judah, slave coast. So now, if the Israelites that was in the west part of Africa, if they felt they was Africans at that time, why would on their map it say the say the land of Judah? It must have meant something to be an Israelite, even though you was in Africa, to make it say on your piece of land, say land of Judah. It didn't say Africa, it said land of Judah. You know why? Because we ran that part of Africa. So that part of Africa is not Africa no more. That part of Africa is the land of Judah. Period. You understand? So now you take Israel. What was Israel called before we called it Israel? Canaan. Right. That's Hamite land, right? Why ain't they called Canaan no more? Why ain't they called Canaan no more?
We kicked their ass and kicked them out.
Because we kicked their ass, tipped over, and then what do? We named that land after our name. Because that's what you do when you conquer land. So when we say Israel is not in Africa, it's because Israel is not a part of Africa because we named it Israel. I can see if we left it as Canaan, they would be right to say that Israel is in Africa. But you're an idiot to keep saying that Israel is in Africa when you can't give me no precept. You can't even say Israel is in the land of Ham.
Right.
You can't. That's right. You can't. Now, if you want a precept for what I'm saying, you go to Psalms. Somebody grab Psalms 49 and 11 real fast.
Grab any map. That one land towards Israel is always going to be called Asia or connected to Asia and separated from the continent.
Right. Read that, please. Psalms 49 and 11. Nice and loud.
Psalms 49 and 11. Their inward thought is that their houses shall continue forever.
Now, what David is talking about is these nations' inward thought is that their house is going to live forever. Like even when we established the land of Judah in the middle of that continent they call Africa, we established that because we fled in 70 AD, carved out a piece of land of our own and named it the land of Judah. So the middle of all, so everything else around that is Africa until you get to our part. That's the land of Judah. Because we didn't want, now why is it the land of Judah? Because we didn't want to be joined to Africans like that. We separate. We wanted to keep our records, keep our identity That's why when they brought us over here to America, what did they do? Took away our identity. So we would never know nothing about Judah, west coast of Africa. We would never know nothing, right? Keep reading.
Come. And their dwelling places, they call their lands after their own name.
They did what?
They call their lands after their own name.
So they called their lands after their own name. So the land of Canaan was no more, because we took it and called that after our own name. So if our ancestors is not saying we was in Africa, if our ancestors is not saying we was in Ham, then nobody else should say we was in Ham. Period. You understand? So that was like my first day, my trip to Jerusalem. It was the bomb in that it proved that I.S.U.P.K was right with the curses. Like, motherfuckers don't like the curses we say. Yeah, but listen, look at it. When you look at a sister when you say them curses, the next time we say them prayers, especially if y'all teaching the class or something like that, just turn and look at a new sister or a new brother in the school.
Dude, they look shook.
When they hear it, you know, they be with the Our Father who art in heaven, they with that. Praying for the power, they with that. Bless the school and the people, they with that. Let loose all the terrorists. Open up the internet and the airway. You know, slay the Edomite. I see y'all later. You know what I mean? Then they get a little spooky. Because they like, no, they serious. They really mean let loose all the terrorists. Right. We right to say that. Right. We right to say about him. We're right in every single thing that we're saying to do. Don't stop. Right. Let me tell you, if there's one thing you gotta hold up with this truth, never let this shit go. Right. Never let this shit go. So that was the first thing. That was the first thing I did when I went to Jerusalem. That's everything.
So, okay, so that's pretty much the sum of it. So, towards the end of the trip, so Dimona was the last stop.
Dimona was the last stop.
I know a lot of people are interested in hearing about Dimona. Yeah. So what was your experience in Dimona like? You know what I'm saying? What was the vibe like? What was the pros, the cons? You know what I'm saying? And for the ignorant like me, where the hell is Dimona? Because I thought it was in Africa.
Dimona actually is in Israel. It's a piece of land in Israel that, you know, of course, everybody knows the story in the late 60s. The happy part, you know, they claim their startup the same year we claim our startup.
69.
Yeah. What? It could be true. I mean, it could be true. I mean, the 60s, if you think about it, the 60s was a boom of a lot of influx of black power type of joint. You got Malcolm, Black Panthers, you know, stuff like that or whatever. So they said it was in 69. Of course, we know Ben Amin. And I'm going by the story that they told me. And I interviewed, it's like maybe 2 hours of footage that I got of interviewing and asking them questions. So what I'm saying to y'all, it'll come out on tape. So in the interview, they said Ben Amin was a young man, and he said that some came over him and said that he had to go to Israel. So they gathered 400 people to go to Israel. The first stop that they went to was Liberia. And the reason why they went to Liberia, because Liberia had claimed to make a treaty that anybody that went back, wanted to come back, they could come to Liberia and they get all the assistance that they would need. What they found out was that Liberia was full of shit. That they didn't get the assistance that they need. They got some bare minimum assistance, but for the most part, they had to fend for themselves. Out of the 400 people that went over there, only 135 actually stayed the whole time. Everybody else left and came back for whatever reason. And he said even in their naivety, they had bought tents and stuff like that, and they ain't taken into account them, what they call them shits, them, what type of ants? Them driver ants, the cheap tents that they had, ran out of money and food and stuff like that. And Ben Amin ended up going to Israel, spotted out, and ended up getting a piece of Dimona that they could go into. And so they got the land. They was battling. Some of them got citizenship. Some of them did not get citizenship. What I found out is that also is that being in their military, like when your children or you got to join their military, is not something that was specific to Ben Amin. Because again, I was trying to dispel rumors, and so one of the rumors was that Ben Amin made a deal with them that he would let their people his people join the military if they can get citizenship. What I found out is that that's Israeli law, period. Whether you are a white so-called fake Jew, or whether you come over there, if you want citizenship, you or your children got to go in the military. So that's not something that Ben Amin sold out to do. So that, you know, it was kind of, now that's the one thing I would say is kind of good to clear up a little bit. Again, that's one of the reasons I wanted to go, to clear up a lot of the lies or truths or what have you. But they do worship Ben Amin. When you walk into each house, they got a picture of Ben Amin up. They call him the Holy Father. I said, Holy Father. I said, and they believe that he's the last Christ. They believe that there is no Christ.
So we in the kingdom.
That's it. They said that shit there. I said, and again, when y'all watched the interview, it wasn't battling. It was just conversation. Because I played like how CHAATAZA interviewing me. That's how I did it. Like I didn't want to be combative because I wanted to get all of the answers. You understand? So I said, Holy Father. That's why I call him Holy Father. He said, well, holy, because you know we're separate and Father, the Pope, they can call him the Father, we can call him the Father. So I'm like, damn, they're going to use the white man's reason to go. But the scriptures say, call no man Father. That's right. Because you have one Father which is in heaven. That's right. So I couldn't get with that. And then we start going at it about the Ben Amin being the last Christ. And so I'm trying to listen to their explanation. And their explanation is, it's a process. So he's the last Christ, and now we're all the anointed. Because Israel is his son, even his firstborn. So I said to him, I said, well, you know, from a scriptural perspective, when Christ comes, he's supposed to sit on that throne forever. Right. I said, Ben Amin died. Right. So how, you know, he'd be the one. And he says that's when he came with the whole we all anointed, we all supposed to carry on, whatever like that. And I said, but we don't have the kingdom either. And I said, and if you're gonna tell me the son, and we're the son, I said, you do know that the Lord told David that his son would be his son. And his son would be the one that would sit on the throne and rule forever. And that's when they kind of got a little uneasy. One of the brothers was like, you know, we got to go beyond the word. We got to live now and stuff like that. So they really didn't have no wiggle room out of that. They didn't want. They also didn't want to go over the meat. And it was in jest that they didn't want to go over the meat. I don't want to make it seem like they was combative or anything like that. But they said we want. They said we want to go back to Genesis, the first 3 chapters, when we ain't eat no meat. I said, that's a goddamn lie. I said, we ate meat. I said, you want me to prove it to you? I said, no, we don't want to go into that right now. I said, no sweat. I said, we go right to Noah. Noah let you know we ate that meat. Go Genesis the 7th chapter, you'll see we ate meat. Now, go ahead.
It sounds like a conversation with a common Christian, sir.
Definitely. Definitely. Like, they have some good things. You know, which I'm about to talk about, but that Ben Amin thing, that's why I don't believe they are successful as they could be, because they have an idol in their midst. And they don't believe that they have an idol in their midst. And it's because Ben Amin did something great. Like, don't let nobody tell you Ben Amin didn't. Like, that's a revolutionary thing to take 400 people, bring them over there, get land or whatever, but he should have never compromised. He should stay fighting. It would have been better to die than to compromise. That's where Ben Amin fell at. And then Ben Amin started wanting to be worshipped himself. Start worshiping man instead of the Most High. That's when it's not as successful as it can be. Now here are the good things though, but the Mono's kind of the bomb. You take that Ben Amin idol worship away, they got a high school, they got school from kindergarten to 12. certified and everything, where you can learn from black teachers and stuff like that. They deliver their own children. They got like their own hospital where they deliver their own babies. They told me they delivered over 1,500 babies naturally without the use of Esau. I mean, I think that's a beautiful thing. They got a nice education system. They even got orthodontists that come out there. They all vegetarians. That vegetarian food was good though, except tofu. I cannot, I cannot get with the tofu. Right. But that other food they had, that shit was delicious. And like one of the brothers, okay,
You name one of their favorite dishes from them.
I don't know what the shit was called. Oh, they had some kale, salad. I don't know what the tofu was. I don't know what they called. They had a tofu and they had something else, but I just don't know what it was called. But I'll message them and ask them what the name of them was. But I don't know the name off the top of my head. And they'll tell you like they have some very good diet type of things. Like they have what they call salt day. They have what's called sugar, no salt day, no salt week rather, no sugar week and stuff like that. And the reason why they said they do that is because the people that came over from America came with, I guess, like diseases and shit like that, living over there. Whereas the ones that were born or raised up in Israel, following the dietary law and stuff like that, they don't really get the diseases and stuff like that. He said, I ain't saying don't nobody get sick, but they don't get sick at alarming rates. They have sections for the kids to play. And I think Dimona is a beautiful place. The only problem with Dimona is the worship of Ben Amin, and they're gonna tell you that they don't. But if you call somebody a holy father, you are worshiping him. Right. You are putting him nigh unto the Most High because we're not supposed to have that at all.
So it's like, what was the name of that camp that called themselves the Comforter?
Just like that. And I think they use the same scripture.
Right.
When it said the Holy Spirit, he shall teach you all things. So I think they look at that the same exact way. They have they ice cream. They got some ice cream. I had a vanilla lemon ice cream.
So, with all that being said, okay, I'm starting the ice cream now. So with all that being said, you know what I'm saying? Like, what do you think you took back from this trip? You know what I'm saying? Was it, in the words of Yakazaya Allah, spiritual? And then also, what was your favorite part about it? You know what I'm saying?
I think it definitely was spiritual. I love the trip spiritually. I did some praying out there. I did some reading out there. I feel like I definitely grew spiritually. You're talking about a brother that never wanted to go to Israel at all to a brother that wants to go back to Israel. Because you definitely feel different out there. There's something about being in your homeland that means something. The only problem, again, is being around the devil, so it's going to be like a happiness but a sadness at the same time. But I was never really around them devils like that if I wasn't sightseeing, so to speak. Like if I wasn't going to Jerusalem, I wasn't really around the devils. Like when I was in Dimona, I was just around black people. When I was in Ashkelon, where I was staying at, I was just around black people. When I visited with Maria, with one of her brothers, it was only around like black people and stuff like that. So it was a beautiful experience in that regard. I would definitely go back, and it made me want to come back and just do more work. Like it gave me, I guess, like a replenishment, a replenishing vibe to want to go back or come back here and just continue to conquer and destroy everything. About you?
Okay, what's it called? Now I know you said there was a Jewish side and Arab side and the Ethiopian side, and like we don't have a side period. Now, just to clarify, when you said we don't have a side period, you mean like just like in Harlem, we don't own any businesses, but we live inside these certain sections of the place.
But even in Harlem, man, you could set up shop somewhere.
Oh, we don't.
I don't see. I didn't see no outside of the now Demona. That's all black.
Right.
It's all black. Demona, you running everything in Demona. You seeing black face brothers, sisters. They cooking the food. I'm saying they got some beautiful sisters out there. You know what I mean? Cooking the foods. Johnny Lomax want to know if they acknowledge the I.S.U.P.K. Yes, they acknowledge the I.S.U.P.K. One of the questions they asked was about.
That was gonna be one of my questions.
Okay, so
like, do they know about us out there?
Yeah, they definitely know about us. I ain't gonna give that story, but yeah, they definitely know about us. They even got like musicians.
Yes.
With some singing and stuff out there in the studio, nice little studio they got out there. They asked about Allah Shawan Kodash, the language that we speak, and I broke down to them, you know, why we speak that language. They fully understood, you know, the whole bastardized and coming back to a pure tongue and stuff like that. I want to make sure I didn't miss nothing with Demona before we go to another question. Watching the kids play, because they had the children and stuff playing and stuff like that. I mean, it was beautiful. It was beautiful to see that like that. You know, definitely.
So like that. Did they like when you was out there? Did you notice any like the Americanized it, like McDonald's out there, Burger King?
But yeah, you got they got McDonald's. Let me tell you something. We actually went into a McDonald's, man, and the McDonald's over there,
yeah,
way better. I mean, they got you make the shit. They got all type of Southwestern and different styles. You can't get no cheese though.
Right.
Yo, that bugged me out that they couldn't put no cheese on burger. That shit was crazy. Oh, wait, here's the funny thing. Me, Matatawa, or whatever they take after we go to TAZARYACH, we go into this restaurant. They was playing white boy music when we walk in there. Next thing I know, Tupac, Brenda's Got a Baby. They start playing Tupac, Drake, just like all the black music and everything came on in that moment. And the niggas was here. Let's put the black music on.
So brother also want to know how you receive the truth. We don't have I.S.U.P.K. in Israel. How they receive us? They big fans of us. What's the deal?
What they want to do, they looking. Okay, number one, they saying they're willing to accept anybody that wants to come out there, and they're looking to build. Like what I did like that the brother said we're not really debating identity anymore because we know who we are. At this point now, it's about building a gateway between the two. And then working on our differences, like almost like we can come together, work out our differences, but at the same time, come together. So of course for us in the I.S.U.P.K, they might have to, I don't know if they would have to denounce Ben Amin for the work he did, but they got to denounce that Holy Father shit.
Right.
You cannot come together under that type of notion. Now, can we deal with the brothers? Like, one thing I've learned, man, like Commander Gen.YAHANNA and General Hyman put me in a great position that I would never be here without. And it goes back to when I had that debate with like, and for those that don't know about that debate, like I did not want to do that debate with Light at all. I told General Hyman, I said, you Captain Tywall would do it. Right. And I wasn't saying it in a disrespectful manner, but at the time, Captain Tywall was in charge of New York. I was transitioning to be in charge, and me always following a rank structure and order, it was right for me to say Captain Tywall should do it. General Hyman, being way greater than I am, he said, well, you're the one that started it, you'll be the one to finish it. And so when I started dealing with that, it put me into a different space politically, if I should say so. Because then General Hyman put me into a world where I had to deal with brothers that, you know, like I.S.U.P.K, we're not affiliated with nobody.
Right.
So it put me in a world where I am affiliated. but not affiliate. I don't want to, like, I'm using that word, but it don't match what I'm saying. I'm just using it on purpose. What I mean when I say that is that Gen.YAHANNA put me in a spot where I'm dealing with Kemetic brothers, having conversations, building to take people out. You understand? He's not sending me there to be an Egyptologist. He's not sending me there to put an unk on. And he knows putting me in that position, I won't fail him. And when I say fail him, I ain't failing Gen.YAHANNA, I ain't failing the Most High. So he put me in that position. That was in 2013. And it allowed me to grow to a point to where I can deal with Kemetic cats, Muslim cats, atheists, Christians, other Israelites, and to be over in Dimona, I could deal with them too. And what I mean by deal with them to waken them to what the truth is. Like Paul said, if by any means I may provoke to emulation them which are my flesh.
Right.
So Gen.YAHANNA saw something in me that I didn't see in myself. Gen.YAHANNA saw something in me that I didn't see in myself. So what they want to do is like right up my alley. What they want to do is to be able to conversate and build. And I take a lot of people out of the books. Like the scriptures say, right. The scriptures say, Apollo's planet, our word, Apollo's word, our planet. The Most High gave me increase. So all I'm doing is just giving the Most High his increase.
Right.
And so being in those different positions allows me, and I just wish other brothers would get that gift as well. Because if we all got that gift, imagine just how greater we would grow this truth. And so that's where that's where they want to go. Okay. So that's where they want to go. That's where I want to take it. That's my trip to Israel in a nutshell. I do got video footage that I'm going to put up, the interviews that I have with Dimona, the places that I saw, the Holy Sepulchre and stuff like that. I have it again. I want to thank Asiel, Mikael, Naor, Jamal, Mathafawa. I mean, I think it was a great overall. And I look forward to doing again. And going over there. Now y'all fuck around, I open up a school out there.
I am right.
I get it.
Believe I'm taking New York.
I'm saying if I go back again, like I'm going to take ground. Like
That's right.
Like it was like planting a seed. Like okay, to go over there was like to plant a seed as well. Like if anybody was listening to the last show I did prior to that, it was like going over there to plant a seed. You know what I mean? So that's what they sent me out to do. So that's what I'm gonna go do.
Damn right. Damn right.
All right, with that. Good.
I don't know if we kept the question, right? So do you think like there are the minds of some of the brothers over there is willing to adapt to speak in Lashua Kwadash, and the saints taking the kingdom is not talking about us going over there? Like, you think they're ready to like take on like U.P.K knowledge and saying and dump what they got?
That's I don't know how fast that happens. That's probably the best way. Okay. The Lashua Kwadash, that's easy. That's easy. Dropping what they believe, who knows? You understand? Because them brothers, I mean, they in there like for a long time, I guess, you know, following their way of life. So you asking them to throw that away. So I don't know how easy they are to do that, but they are willing to, I guess, like sit at the table, so to speak. Because as I was sitting there, I gave the analogy. I said, if this is where we're supposed to be, and you over there, you over there, you over there, I'm over there, and we all standing here trying to be right, but ain't none of us trying to get to the table, we're gonna get nowhere. Right. We're gonna at least have to get at the table to see where, who's right, what's wrong, and stuff like that. That's right. So that's what they are willing to do. So that's what I'm gonna be in contact with them about. All right. One more question, Bill.
So there's been a response to dealing with them as far as in dealing with I don't know if it was the wrong term, groups that try to be us in the States, what could you say differently? What could you say is different, and what could you say like about the moment better in dealing with the groups that try to be us in the States? Like, and for the aspect, like I know Gen.YAHANNA years ago tried to invite them to the cookout, and even said around the same time that we need to come together. So that
Israel and America, the black folk, is the same shit.
Right.
You see how you got camps, right? They got different factions in Israel too. It ain't no, you got some that say Jerusalem is Jerusalem. You got brothers that say Tehran is Tehran. You got brothers that like the moment. You got brothers that don't like the moment. It's the same. Like if that's the one issue I got with all Israel. Real talk. The issue that I got with all Israel is the fucking division. Right. And if it's one thing that I came back with is that the Most High I feel put on me is to destroy the division. The division that Israel has amongst each other has got to go. Right. That's why the reason why they can say the Saints, they can say, or we can say the Saints gonna take the kingdom. But the reason why we ain't took the kingdom is because we're divided. And it got nothing to do with us being in Israel, being in America. We could be in fucking Antarctica, excuse my language. Right. It's because we're divided that we can't come together. And that's the one thing. If there's one thing I feel the Lord put me on this earth to do, is to destroy the division amongst Israelites. That's right. That's the one thing that I'm glad you asked that question, because that's the one thing that I feel like I'm going to do to make it my mission, is to destroy the division. If it's gonna hurt feelings, it is gonna hurt feelings. If hurting feelings will unite, and then some people that ain't with it got to go by the wayside, then so be it. But we spending too much time arguing over bullshit. Right. Like we argue over the simplistic shit. Say again? Flat Earth. Yeah, I don't care what it is, from flat Earth, who got the truth. Like, I.S.U.P.K is home of the truth. I don't have, like, what bugged me out the most is, people get mad at us when we say I.S.U.P.K is the home of the truth, right? Are we supposed to be the home of lies? Right. Like, real talk. I mean, I have more respect for an organization that say that they're home of the truth, as opposed to saying everybody got the truth. Right. What I mean by that is, if you're saying you're the home of the truth, that's more credence to yourself. When you say everybody got the truth, what you're saying is you don't have it. Right. I would never say I don't have the truth. Right. I would say that I am the home of the truth. Right. Now, we ain't gotta argue over that shit. Like the shit that we arguing over, and I see what the white man is doing to our land, I see what the white man is doing to us over here, we still arguing over who got the truth and who got this and who got that. That shit gotta stop. Right. Otherwise, we ain't never gonna take shit. Right. So that's what I take from it. I hope I don't get checked too bad. That's what I take from it. We're gonna take a break. All right, we're gonna take a break. We're gonna come back. We're gonna talk about something. This is CHAATAZA's show tonight. So whatever CHAATAZA say, go.
Yeah. And with that, right, clap it up.
Yo, here, you can hear it. It's like, did you ever get to go to the Prisoner's Gate where the James?
No, that's not the place. I couldn't get to go. I needed more time out there because it just wasn't enough time. Like I was
white man is the sitting boat Geronimo. Blast from the past, it's the last of the Taino. Return of the prodigal, pen game behind. Writing the King's Chronicle, lifestyle iconical. Got me sobbing, nigga, you already know. Don't fuck with boys, man, they hoes are monicals. Then I keep bombing them, crushing mics like styrofoam. Snatch your rapper souls and snatch your bodies in catacombs. I left the world and I ain't never coming back again. Roll a righteous man like General Mahayman. Took me to maneuver through bullshit you couldn't factor in. No matter how hard the walk, I'll never pack it in. Untouched in the Lions Den, Battle of Leviathan. Cause I ain't never been a homeborn slave or a hireling. Living in Babylon, a concrete Amazon. Slamming Qurans in front of Farrakhan on Ramadan. So you vagabonds can't touch the Aramon. I'm tired of you niggas playing dress up this at Comic-Con. That's the type of shit that I'm on. You wanna battle, then I'll give you at the broker key sign, motherfucker. Here they come. Here they come, yo. Here they come. Here they come, yo. Here they come. Here they come. Here they come. Come. This or that. 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 This, that. Black sheep who walk to the beat of a different drum, tune of a different hum, guitar with a different strum. Seen a few days that was looking darker than plums, cause these crackers try to snatch your soul like Shane Son. Fuck the police, sit down for national anthems, kidnapping the rap game and hold it for ransom. Still one of the dopest MCs that be under the sun. My notes could explode your whole galaxy like a Samsung. Every verse is just monstrous, flowing more than hydrolysis. Water with a pair of balls that's bigger than hippopotamus, killing this shit like Spartacus, Death the Remus and Romulus, taking over your continent, conquering every providence, ruled with an iron rod, totalitarian dominance. Bend the knee or else suffer the consequence. Fire, rah, like a dungeon dragon. Stay hungry like I came out of land with a famine. Set my own trends, never jump on no bandwagons like you corny motherfuckers sporting female fashion. Won't no talent, having swagger, jacking, lacking passion. Need your ass, get ass backwards, dabbing, half-ass rapping, full-fledged faggots. I'm feeding you the maggots at the autograph in your casket. None of y'all will fuck with the captain, verbal assassin, toe tagging all of you bastards. Close. This or that.
And that's all they're getting from that. That's it. That's the first and last time.
West till they bury me. I'm one west till they bury me. I'm one west till they bury me. I be one west to the death till they bury me. One west till they bury me. I'm one west till they bury me. I'm one west till they bury me. I be one west to the death till they bury me. I be one west to the death till they bury me.
How would you know it's time? Like, a lot of brothers are carrying the airplane trade. How would you know it's time? Brothers are Pakistan and all that. A lot of them are.
This is funny until I'm dominant. I feel like I lifted the pussy niggas. I be shit. Fuck the politics and the lies. Situation is dominant. The way your army is never heard it for the audience. Because the competition is from the era when it's smoking like a ball and the flow big stupid shit. All the sense, all the dominance, one west rising the prominence. Cause I be one west to the death till they bury me. I'm one west till they bury me. I be one west to the death till they bury me. I'm one west till they bury me. I be one west to the death till they bury me. I'm one west till they bury me. I be one west to the death till they bury me. I'm one west till they bury me. I'm one nigga quiet. You mama knows, but I got like a who about the Uber. Rhymes all like the baby mama knows. Now I'm really Uber 17 in the room. Only need a few percent to become a tuner. I got put over got a nigga mother nigga when every dollar. They rhyme bomb like a dollar that was in the hours. But showstopper when the top is in the team. But now I'm doing up the phone to me in my pocket. I put it in the door. I'm not around the chopper. It's more heavy, already in the working mama. Don't ever wanna say I got the love to say it. When I'm a phone, ain't no rapper do it like I do it. I love spinning and right, but the name of so I'm trying to get to the fight or rest with me. And I had a nigga still like a toddler in the deep. And I'm still looking for paper. Every bar from the ball, like a fight. I'm really coming through the side of the club. Everyone west to the death till they bury me. I'm one west till they bury me. Everyone west to the death till they bury me. I'm one west till they bury me. Everyone west to the death till they bury me.
And then look where he goes. What about the And we're back with Israelite VIBEZ. You already know. Let me tell y'all, so to clap it up. We in the house. TAZARYACH back from Israel. Shannon's whole trip. As always, pay your time.
Right.
10% of your increase in earnings goes to the men of the Lord. You understand? That's here. That's the UPK.
Right.
Straight up and down. You understand? I'm arguing with some nut online. You telling me it's vegetables. I'm like, nigga, well, send your canned corn.
Right. That's right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, y'all be seeing TAZARYACH vegetable. I ain't seen the potato.
Right.
Some green beans, you know what I'm saying? Right. Where's the kale at? Huh? Where's it at? Okay, what else we got going on? Cookouts. Cookout galore. My God.
Yeah, man, I'm going to Atlanta, me and Cop.
Don't put that on me, Ricky Bobby.
Yeah, New York, we're gonna go down to Atlanta. That's right. October 21st, that's next Saturday, man. We're gonna be in Atlanta at the cookout. It should be a beautiful thing, man. Captain TAZARYACH, man, they do great hospitality, man. Last time we was down there, we had a ball. We're gonna go down there again. We're gonna drive in a school van. That's what I love about him. TAZARYACH. It's like Captain TAZARYACH. Salaki. Okay, they got raised. They get raised at the same time. It's not the captains, but in the school, I remember my first Passover in 2010, it was TAZARYACH and TAZARYACH. So forgive me, TAZARYACH. But Captain TAZARYACH, man, he has shown great hospitality. The newly raised Officer 5,000 TAZARYACH. We're gonna go down there. I just hope I don't see as many homosexuals as the last time I was down there. Good Lord.
Yeah, I don't know what you were looking at because there was broads galore. There were sisters everywhere, and they listen. I remember when I'm going places.
I'm not good at that.
I'm seeing women sitting down alone, and I'm like at bars, like everywhere I go, like they sitting there like having dinner by themselves. That's how many homosexuals is in the land. You know what I'm saying? I read an article. There's 80,000 more single women than men in Atlanta.
For real?
80,000. 80,000. They all over there. Atlanta was a good trip, man. We had a good time. You were there?
Wow.
No.
Why is everybody taking the funk tonight? What's going on? I forgot what happened, but something happened. So with that, also Cali, Lord willing, I'm definitely going. I don't know about Atlanta. But I'm trying to get to Cali, you know what I'm saying? Cali, November 4th, it's going down. And then Florida in December. Lord willing, I'm going to definitely be in Florida too. You know what I'm saying? And with that, we got some things to talk about. You want to do Terry Crews? You want, I kind of want to do terrorist shit. Do terrorist shit. No time, Christ. So, no, it won't get it.
This or that.
Technical difficulties. But with all that being said, what I want to do is I want to get into some stories right here. There's something going on in the world right now, you understand, where this devil right here, it says FBI warns of black identity extremists. Now, this is what's blowing my mind. I need y'all to pay attention to this title. The FBI warns of black identity extremists as white supremacists and mass shooters run rampant. You understand? So they don't care about the white boys over there running little white girls over in Virginia. Right. They don't care about them trying to march all over the damn country. You understand? They don't give a damn about John Paddock shooting. I thought I hated country western music until John Paddock stepped on the scene. He hates country western. You know what I'm saying? So with all that being said, with all that, white people being the #1 terrorists on the earth, but we gotta watch out for black people trying to find their identity. Right. That's the problem. Right. That's the problem. And all this niggas and spicks can't wake up. Right. White people could riot over statues, but black and Hispanics can't try to claim their identity. Right. Black identity, okay? Black identity extremists. That would be us. Okay. You understand? Okay. You understand? That's anybody. So let me get this straight. So first, you strip our identity from us all throughout the Caribbean, in North Central South America. You give us your identity, and now it's a problem in 2017 when we want our own identity. Right. You understand? Separate from those who killed Mike Brown. Right. Separate from those who killed Trayvon. Separate from those who killed Tamir Rice. Separate from those who killed Sandra Bland. So, you get the point? You understand? Separate from those who have been murderers, separate from those who put crack in our neighborhood, cocaine in our neighborhood, heroin in our neighborhood, made Jim Crow laws, labor unions so we couldn't get any work, so on and so forth, etc., etc. So with all that being said, but we're the problem. You understand? Just because we want an identity outside of American, outside of Puerto Rican, outside of Asian. That don't make no goddamn sense. You can say something, sir.
What I was gonna say is that what everybody should pay attention to. Just think about, read the title of that article again.
FBI warns of black identity extremists as white supremacists and mass shooters run rampant.
Listen, I'm gonna tell you something. Y'all notice, like, whenever black people do, when cops kill black people, right? What's the first thing they always bring up?
It's criminal record.
Yeah. Right. And what else? Something else they do. No, what they do when a cop kills a brother or when a white man kills a black person, the first thing they point out is black people kill black people.
Right.
Oh, right. The first thing they point out. Right? So now the white man do some terrorist shit. Read that title of that article again.
FBI warns of black identity extremists as white supremacists and mass shooters run rampant.
As we dealing with a white terrorist, white people doing this killing, what do they do for the distraction? They say we're the extremists and we're plotting. Right. Like the white man has a very this simple script. Like when I mean script, like the script that you write, and the script is this simple. When all else fails, blame the nigga. Right. When all else fails, when we need a good enough distraction, listen, Trump used the shit. They start talking about Trump with the Trump. You think Trump talk? You know why Trump talk about the NFL?
You don't want to talk about Korea and what else he do?
Yeah. Right. So we could now be more focused on the NFL and Jamil Hill and Colin Kaepernick instead of what white folk is messing up at.
That's right. Right.
You know what I mean? Because and then we fall so victim to the seduction that we be sitting there battling whether Jamil should be able to be a news reporter or not, whether Kaepernick should be able to throw the football or not. That's where our battle is at. Our battle is there instead of our battle being on the very issue at hand, which is black problems. You understand? Like this, you gonna read some of the article?
Cut on cut.
I think we might have a call. Look at it.
In an example of curious timing, when white mass shooters and white supremacist terror groups have captured national attention in Charlottesville, Las Vegas, and elsewhere, the FBI has focused its priorities on what it calls Black Identity Extremists, or the BIE movement. The government agency claims there is a terror threat from BIEs, who it claims, meanwhile, they terrorized all the BIEs. Black Panthers, you understand, like they destroyed Fred Hampton's house, looking for him. Right. You know what I'm saying? Right. Black family trying to protect themselves in Philadelphia, they blow up half the neighborhood, the move bomb. Right. You know what I'm saying? Black people just want to live in their own community. They blow it up in Tulsa, Oklahoma. Right. You get what I'm saying? Or Rosewood, so on and so forth. You get what I'm saying? Meanwhile, whenever it is that we come together or we even have a movement, it's to either empower our people or protect them from the oppression that's going on. Same thing with the Young Lords. Young Lords is like the Puerto Rican version of the Black Panthers. You get what I'm saying? Now, they did certain things that were extreme. Like when they took all the trash, threw it down Fifth Avenue, set some of it on fire. But you know what? That's why if your trash gets picked up, you understand, in Washington Heights, it's because of that. If your trash gets picked up in Harlem, it's because of what they did. They didn't go out and murder nobody. They didn't go out and harm nobody. They didn't go out and shoot up a concert. That's another thing. I don't never want to hear about violence at rap concerts ever again. Ever again. Right. They ain't going to do nothing like that. You get what I'm saying? But yet we're the issue. You understand? Which just goes to show you how much of a threat Black and Hispanics waking up in America really is.
I think
no, I would agree with it.
No.
Cut. The government agency claims there is terror threat from BIEs who it claims target acts of violence against police officers in retaliation for acts of police abuse against African Americans, which should only be the normal, you understand, response when somebody's murdering you at an alarming rate. Not saying that we should do that, but oppression make a wise man man. What we really should do is separate and get our own police force. You understand? Then we wouldn't have these issues. If white people would be policing us and oppressing us, they wouldn't have to worry about us killing them in retaliation for them murdering us. I can't tell my go off. I keep losing my place. For Black activists and those who have been involved with racial justice movements in the United States, this recent pronouncement from the federal government harkens back to the FBI's war against Black nationalists and civil rights organizations known as COINTELPRO, which, if anybody doesn't know what COINTELPRO is,
Hold on 1 second, caller.
COINTELPRO, you understand, was invented by the FBI, where they would go and they would try to infiltrate, you understand, Black and Hispanic, like the Young Lords, like the Black Panthers, nationalist groups, you understand, come in there and then cause division among them, cause fractions among them, you understand, set them up, try to plant evidence, try to find out if they were doing anything wrong, so that this way they'd be able to destroy it from the inside out.
Caller, what's your name? Where you calling from? Yeah, how you got a question on the comment?
Yeah, I want to come in. I heard y'all talking about the cookout that's going on there now, right?
Right.
Yeah, I want to know, like, y'all coming down, right?
Yeah, we be down there. CHAATAZA coming too.
Yeah, CHAATAZA coming?
Yeah.
Lord willing.
Yeah, man, y'all need to come down, man. It's going to be October the 31st. It's going to be in the, can I promote it?
Yeah, good.
Yeah, it's going to be October the 21st. Cleopa's Art Johnson. I mean, Atlanta, Georgia.
Damn right.
Saturday, October the 21st. So, yeah, man, y'all need to come down, man. I mean to ask you, you was in Israel.
You said what?
I meant to ask you, you know, they communicate with you when you was in Israel, but I ain't want to disturb you, know what I'm saying?
Nah, man, disturb me. Yeah, man, disturb me, man. CHAATAZA did.
I sure as hell did.
CHAATAZA did.
Morning till night, this is going on. I'm telling on all y'all.
Nah, get out of here, man. Get out of here, man. Don't say that. Don't say that, man. Hey, the park that is shut, is that a live park? The park that the cookout is at, is that a live park?
Yeah, it's a live park.
Oh, okay, that's what's up, man. I look forward to coming down there.
Yeah, I put out a video when I walked around the park and showing the whole park, so that's out right now. So yeah, it's being promoted.
Yeah, no sweat. I got you covered, man. We be down there. We definitely gonna drive down there. Hey, I might need some help, man. We might need a spot to crash. I'm gonna call you tomorrow or Saturday. I'm gonna call you to rap about it.
No sweat. I got you.
All right, no sweat.
That was it.
All right, shalom. Y'all some shut up.
Well, so with all that being said,
I'm supposed to say that.
Oh, well, please.
And with that,
this is Israelite VIBEZ. Let me tell you something. The white man is the devil. You know what I'm saying? Pay your tithes. Make it to the cookout. Go to the cookout. That's it, right? Anything else? Speak now, fellow. All right, shalom, Israel.